Hi, I'm Tulsa divorce attorney Palmer Johnson, and welcome to my video series where I answer frequently asked questions I get from my family law clients. And today's question is, I'm getting a divorce and I want my stuff. How do I get my stuff? So this usually comes up in the context of a divorce where um, one party that has left the marital residence and was only able to take very limited items with them, maybe even as little as just a few articles of clothing, and the other side is being extremely um, combative, and it's very high conflict, and going to retrieve personal items seems, while like in a way a very basic thing that you would say, well, you can go get your things because you have every right to be at the property. But in the context of a divorce, what would I advise a client to do? Well, um, first of all, the other side doesn't get to keep all of the property, despite what they may be telling you. And oftentimes, that is what I hear clients say. Well, they say it's all theirs. Well, one of my number one rules is in the context of a divorce, the first thing you want to do is stop listening to everything that your spouse tells them. And if they tell you something that starts with, my lawyer said, there's a really good chance that their lawyer didn't say that, and there's no real basis to what they're saying. They're just simply trying to intimidate, bully, or otherwise be problematic. So what do you do? Because they really just want to make you angry is what they want to do. They've taken something, they're depriving you of access to something, all to set the tone that they somehow have more control, more say, and that you will have to bow down to what they want in the divorce, and that you're somehow going to get an unfair deal and they're going to get a better deal because they're in control. That's what that's really about. And what I would recommend to clients in that position is if the divorce hasn't been filed yet, we want to file the divorce immediately because we want to benefit from the automatic temporary injunction that goes into effect once we've filed our petition and the other party has been served with notice of it. Because a lot of times the other fear is that they're going to destroy your things or dissipate assets. So we want to make it clear that doing that is absolutely a violation of the law and that we would have a remedy, because we can turn that situation around in a real quick and in a hurry on them, where they will ought to really think twice before they do those things. And in the same vein, I would advise a client on the receiving end of that, absolutely don't do those things. It may seem like some temporary satisfaction on your end, but will do nothing to further your case in front of a judge. It will cost you money and credibility in the eyes of the court. And if you have a child custody um, matter that's going to be a part of the divorce, I think, again, just really makes you look petty, childish, um, and already automatically sets the tone in the judge's eyes that you are not someone to be trusted. And I think, that's the real overarching issue here is somebody who takes someone else's property and just destroys it. What does that say about them? It shows that they have impulse control issues, that they are hot-headed, that they don't think clearly, that they might not be suitable for uh, being the primary caretaker or doing the child rearing for young children, that sets a bad example. A lot of things that are easily deduced from that. So don't put yourself in that position. But if you're on the receiving end of it, then I don't think you have to be afraid of that either, because there absolutely are procedures in place to prevent that. And when we get to the temporary order um, hearing stage of the case, we'll have an absolute opportunity to uh, create a, create a list of at least the basic property that you've been deprived to, that we could most likely agree, or have the court order that you can get at a set time, and then as part of the larger divorce settlement, either we could agree on, or a court would give you your fair and equitable portion of the marital property, whether that's furniture, household items, um, and certainly your personal separate property, things like clothing or just personal effects, all of that. So if you find yourself in a position where you feel like you've been deprived of access to all of your things and you are concerned based on your spouse's behavior that you're possibly never going to get any of your things back and that you're just going to have to walk away from all of that, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. And with the right legal counsel, you absolutely can turn that situation around and potentially leverage that in your favor. Their absolute unreasonableness may ultimately really be something that helps you further your positions in the case. So, if you need to talk about the specific circumstances surrounding your property or your divorce and the property settlement, in that case, contact me at moms.law. I'd be happy to set up a low-cost consultation where I can talk to you about your specific case and the circumstances of what's going on with you.